What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good? Yeah, I want to do an audio for you guys tonight. I want to talk about semen retention, and I want to talk about what the first 7 days of semen retention looks like. Before we start, definitely want you guys to go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. I want to really hear from you guys. Like I said, I'm here to put out great information for you guys tonight. Just wanted to let you guys know um, what to expect when you're on a semen retention journey for the first time, you know? And I know that it's a very foreign thing for a lot of people because it's not something that's talked about in the media. It's not something that's talked about publicly. It's not even really even something that's talked about amongst your own friends and your own peers. It's not like people are having conversations and they're like, hey, let's talk about semen retention. Nah, it's none of that stuff at all. It's a very underground, private kind of thing. And I know that if you're looking to be on this journey, you're definitely looking to see what this is about. And you want to see what it entails, what it represents, how does it affect things, how does it affect me, how does it affect my life, things of that nature. So yeah, it's a very important thing. I know for me personally, how I kind of found out about it was just through videos. I would just randomly go through videos, and there's one video that I saw where, dude was talking about how just retaining for 7 to 14 days makes all the difference in the world. And all of a sudden, you're going to start to realize that you become a different person. You're going to start to realize your energy's different. You're going to realize that your vibe is different and things like that. Now, mind you, just kind of give a little background for myself. I was definitely somebody that was cooming. I was a coomer, man, and probably from like the age of 10. And how it happened with me was, I found a video in my parents' armoire, as they say, like a little cabinet that, people kind of keep their stuff in, their storage and things of that nature, right? And so how that came about was I came across that video. Me and my younger brother at the time, I think we were supposed to go to school. We didn't even go to school that day, and saw the video, popped it in, and those images stuck with me. And I found myself always chasing that feeling. Like I said, you're seeing just that kind of nudity, things like that, right? And then it just took on a life of its own. And then once I started really hitting puberty at that time, then start to realize, when it came to things like masturbating, things of that nature, now all of a sudden, that was something I was just doing on a regular basis. It was just a way for me to cope. It was a way for me to kind of, release stress, tension, it's just a way to kind of escape from the world, so to speak. And, it was just something that really it really, really, really just kind of opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, man. And so I found myself for maybe a good 20, 25 years being addicted to looking at those images, things like the hub, things of that nature. And now realizing that, look, I've been doing all this stuff, and I find myself now not liking who I am. I find myself being more shameful. I find myself really feeling like crap, you know what I'm saying? Just not liking myself after releasing. I'll be looking at the images and then just be, just cooming to those images, man. Instead of just going out here and meeting people or meeting women for that matter. It was my way of just kind of coping with things. And so it was a tough period, man. And so realizing that something like this was available was such a huge thing, because then I started realizing, man, you know what do I have to lose? I've been wanting to break this addiction, but I can't break this addiction. And so what happens is, when you do finally find something that helps you break that addiction, you start to realize that, man, you're not the same person that you were prior to that, right? So to just give you an example, man, like I noticed that after the first time I would coom, right? I noticed that you'll feel a period of about 2 to 3 days where you feel sluggish. You're just not motivated, not energized. You just don't want to do anything. You really just, all you want to do is just chill, maybe eat, sleep, watch a movie. Like, you just don't have motivation for anything. You're just lethargic. But it's realizing that your body's recovering from releasing. People don't understand that when you release, it comes with a cost, man. It comes with a cost. It's not something that you can just naturally just do it and then you're like, oh, that's it and it's good to go. No, it has its consequences, guys. It has its consequences. And so learning that, understanding that, realizing that, it taught me like, okay, you know what? You gotta let your body recover. You gotta let your mind, your spirit recover. And it takes usually 2 to 3 days, sometimes up to 4 days for that. And that's that period where your body's starting to readjust, because remember, you lost fluid. Semen is a very powerful fluid, guys. It's not something that you release it and it's nothing. People release it on a sock and think it's cool. No, it's something that it's a life force that's inside you guys, man. And so when you release that, man, it takes a lot out of you. It's, 1 drop of semen is equivalent to 40 drops of blood. And so it's not something that you just take lightly. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it was huge. It was a huge thing, guys. And so once I started to realize, okay, let's go to the recovery stage. About the 3rd or 4th day, I found myself feeling normal. This was a feeling like I didn't understand it before. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, like you start to feel okay. Start to feel good, start to feel kind of like, better. But usually around the 4th to 5th day, you're going to start to notice that, okay, you got your energy back, you got your wits about you back. And now all of a sudden, it's like not to say that you feel like on top of the world, but you definitely start to get your motivation back. And you start to lose some of that brain fog that you have as well, too. And so once you get to about the 5th, 6th, 7th day, that's when you're going to start to realize, okay, you're at that recovery stage in your journey. And once you get to that recovery stage in your journey, you're going to start to notice some things that are going to start to become a lot different. And just even on 7 days alone, guys, and I've heard some people have this, and I've had this happen to me, just even on 7 days alone, you'll start to notice that the attraction that you get from women is going to be different. They're going to start to look at you different after 7 days. Because now all of a sudden when you get to that 7th day, you're starting to build up energy about yourself that you didn't know you had before. You know what I'm saying? Now that testosterone is starting to kick in a little bit more now. Because now all of a sudden, now you're retaining, you're holding your energy, you're holding your life force in. And so now, naturally, now your body starts to build up that energy from within now. And so now you're going to walk a little bit different than most people, because you got to remember, the majority of the population is not retaining. And so just you retaining for 7 days already sets you apart. And you're going to notice with women, like I said, they're going to start to pay attention to you a little bit more. You might get a little bit more stares. You might get a little bit more, kind of like curiosity. And they're kind of like, okay, well, what is it about him kind of thing already on that 7th day? And so honestly, guys, that's something to think about, and just, I know a lot of guys want to do it for the female attraction. I get it, and that's fine. You'll learn that on a long journey, it's not about the female attraction. It's a lot deeper than that. There's more spiritual aspects to it. But I know a lot of people use it as a way to start out their journey. And sometimes that's not a bad thing to start out that way, but you want to be able to grow from that as well too. And so just understand, guys, once you get to that 7th day, you're going to start to see your energy level change. You're going to start to see your vibe start to change a little bit. The way you move is going to be a little bit different now. And so now you're going to start to, just after 7 days, see things just a little bit different than what you did when you were draining yourself on a daily basis. So that's just something to think about, guys, as you go on your semen retention journey. And just even going from 0 to 7 days, if you can retain just for 7 days, you're already starting to set yourself apart from a lot of people. And you're going to start to see some of the differences and some of the benefits that come after that 7th day. And so with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and the audio right here. I appreciate you guys listening in. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, guys. I'd like to hear from y'all, man. Definitely. And like I said, You know, this is a journey that we're all taking together, and definitely something that will help benefit you guys as you move forward. So be good to yourselves, guys, and I will catch you guys on the next audio. Peace.